Happening now, tens of thousands of kids all around the Duke City are going back to school, and that means all of us will need to pay attention and slow down, particularly in those school zones. News 13's David Romero is live in front of Washington Middle School with a good reminder for us all. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Matt. Well, drivers around town have had the last 2 months off from worrying about driving a little bit slower through these types of zones. But later on, this morning, when those school zone lights are flashing, that means that everybody's got to get back in that mentality of driving with extreme caution in these areas and looking out for the little ones. Now, of course, some of the basic rules that folks need to remember include slowing down, of course, and coming to a complete stop when instructed to, and being observant. That includes watching out for bicyclists, and the little ones are usually paying less attention to what's going on, and they could pop out virtually anywhere along the streets near the schools. And of course, you need to also watch your blind spots and eliminate any distractions that you may have in your car while driving. Albuquerque Public School officials say there's nothing major they can do other than to ask for drivers' cooperation.
You know, some of the school zones may have new signs and new markings, but in general, we just want everyone to make sure they watch the signs, and if there are some new signs, they pay attention to those signs and obey the signs.
Couldn't say it enough. You got to obey those signs. And of course, it's not just about safety in the school zones, but in your neighborhoods as well, because a lot of kids are going to be walking to bus stops and such. So when you're backing out of your driveway, just take a few seconds. Is all it takes is just to get down from the car rather, and look around and make sure nobody's going to be coming out anytime soon, and just back out very cautiously because, again, they could pop out anywhere. Matt, back to you.
A very good reminder this morning, David. Thank you. Another good idea for kids if they're wearing those headphones or those earpieces. Make sure they can still hear what's going on around them and that their music isn't too loud. Well, Governor Susana Martinez will be getting in on the back-to-school fun today. She'll be visiting Edmund G. Ross Elementary in Albuquerque and Jefferson Elementary in Gallup to read to first graders and give them free books. This is from when the governor read to students at Mary M. Hughes Elementary last year. In fact, all first graders are going to get a book today as part of the governor's plan to get more kids reading. And APS Superintendent Winston Brooks, he'll be going back to school too. He'll be at Eubank Elementary this morning, which has been redesigned as a fine arts magnet school. It's one of more than half a dozen magnet schools in the district. That means they get extra money to focus on different subjects. Developing news at 5:03 this morning. It's about a hunt for a bear that bit a man last week in Sandia Heights. It looks like someone is trying to prevent game and fish from capturing this bear. Officers set a trap near the home to catch the bear Friday afternoon. The next day, they noticed the trap door had been closed, preventing the bear from climbing inside. And that was just the start of this tampering. Game and Fish says the next night, officers caught someone on video spreading something around the trap. This is video right here. And that whatever it was would probably keep the bear from going in the trap.
In this instance, because this bear has shown to be very aggressive, breaking into a house and biting a human, that bear will be put down. That's our obligation to the state and to the citizens.
Now, the man in that video could be charged with obstructing an officer. Meanwhile, Game and Fish is still trying to catch that bear. The man who got bit is going to have surgery on his hand. Well, a former animal control officer who claims no one is helping a dozen starving horses is taking matters into her own hands. Maria Dorfner here says she called Santa Fe County Animal Control 2 weeks ago about the underweight horses out in Moriarty. She says Animal Control told her the State Livestock Board was going to handle it. But Ms. Dorfner says the livestock inspectors have not been out there.
I'm concerned that we're not going to be getting to the ones that need the help soon enough. They are very busy. It's almost fair time. Everybody's doing horse shows.
Livestock inspectors do have a meeting set with the horse's owner tomorrow. And yesterday, Ms. Dorfner fed the animals hay she bought herself. Well, someone stabbed a family's pit bull, the pet pit bull, down in Roswell last weekend. And right now, police have no idea who did this. Michelle Nunez says she left Scrappy in the front yard while she went into the house for a few minutes. When she came out, she says Scrappy had been stabbed in the back. You could see the scar there. Ms. Nunez thinks the dog knew who attacked him because she never heard Scrappy bark or growl. We are told that he will be okay. Happening now at 5:05, state police are still trying to find out what happened to a woman found badly hurt along I-40 last weekend. This woman was discovered just after 6 Saturday night between Laguna and the Route 66 casino. Her head was badly hurt and she had a number of broken bones. She was arrested at UNMH, and we are told she cannot talk right now, so investigators have no clue what happened to her. If you know anything about this, please call state police. Well, the man police say killed a clerk at a gold store in Albuquerque is in jail this morning. Detectives say he was done in by his own loose lips. Manuel Gardner, right here, was arrested this weekend and charged with first-degree murder. Investigators say he was robbing the National Jewelry Buyer store near Cottonwood last month and shot and killed Richard Glass. The surveillance video caught the shooter. Here he is wearing a hoodie and a red bandana. He walked into the store, he shot Glass, and walked out with $1,700 in cash. Now, witnesses said whoever the robber was driving an old white Crown Victoria. Well, police got a tip and found that car on the west side and say Gardner's pay stub was on the dash and a red bandana was on the floor. Then they say a person close to Gardner told them Gardner admitted killing the clerk because he thought the clerk recognized him, possibly from being in the store before.
He made no hesitation in taking this man's life. He did walk into that store purposefully with what appeared to be intent, and as the outside viewer, you can see that he didn't hesitate.
Once again, Gardner is still in jail. He needs $1 million cash if he wants out. Well, U.S. Senator John McCain is starting the week off with jury duty. He made his way to the Maricopa County Courthouse in Phoenix yesterday, and he joked about fulfilling his civic duty.
Doing my civic duty for a change. Going to see if we can't reinstitute law and order here in Maricopa County, which has been badly deteriorating. So we're out to get those criminals, right?
Well, John McCain having a little joke there, also joking about the sheriff and kind of his strict rules there. Senator McCain was initially picked for a jury panel, but was ultimately not selected for the trial. That actually worked out well because he had planned to speak at Phoenix's Chamber of Commerce. He was able to make it there on time. Well, happening now, the Gila National Forest Catwalk Trail is back open this morning. You might remember it had been closed since June after a rock fell and did a lot of damage here. The catwalk is a trail in the Whitewater Canyon, and part of it is suspended on the side of a cliff. Right now, it's only open until 1 in the afternoon because the monsoon thunderstorms could cause the area to flood. Well, coming up in just a minute, meteorologist Chris